that they include the ray fin and the lobe fin. I already mentioned what the ray fin is and what the lobe fin is. The ray fin, it has just like spikes or fins being held by thin what? Thin membrane. These are bones. These straight ones are bones, but this is a thin membrane holding them together. Is understood. So they easily, among the qualities they have is they light, so they're easily maneuverable. They can change, swap, move easily. And also, I say it says they support the wall. The fins are embedded in a thin layer of skin. So these are thin skin. These are bones here, and these skins are thin skins and connective tissue. The muscles that move the bones are found in the fish body. They're found in the fish body wall. So the arrangement of bones and muscles take the fin light, collapsible, and easy to move. So if someone asks about the description of the ray fin, among the qualities they have is what is they are very flexible, they're light, collapsible, and easy to move around. So this is a major quality of the ray fin. Now we also talked about the swim bladder. A swim bladder is the buoyancy organ. What do I mean by buoyancy organ? It makes it easy for the organisms to have a light weight. We say something is buoyant, the meaning is not heavy. Is that understood? It's not heavy. So what happens is the swim bladder is just like a balloon. It looks like this. So there is a way in which oxygen can move from the lungs or from the blood into it and out of it. So when it wants to take in, when it's about to take in when it's about to go down the water, and it takes in oxygen. So that makes it heavy. Then it sinks. Are you listening to me? Is it recording? I can get it here. So it goes down to the water level, and if it wants to rise to the top, it's going to take out oxygen to the blood. The point I'm actually making is he adds oxygen to the swim bladder from the bloodstream, increasing its buoyancy. It makes it more buoyant than the way it's supposed to be, and also to float lower in the water, oxygen is reabsorbed. So the oxygen is taken back again if it wants to go down to decrease the buoyancy. Is that understood? So when it's about to go up, what happens? It takes in oxygen. When it wants to sink, once it wants to go up, it takes out oxygen. You get what I'm saying? So that makes it light. So if it wants to go down the water, it takes in oxygen. And that makes it heavy to go down.
I thought it was the opposite, yeah.
No, yeah, isn't it? When you take in oxygen, it has a light weight. It floats.
It takes in oxygen, it has small.
No. When it takes in oxygen, it's like a balloon.
Okay.
It floats. When it lets oxygen out, it sinks. Is that what I said?
No, you said the opposite.
When it takes in oxygen, it's buoyant. I mean, it's lightweight. Is understood. So when it takes in oxygen, it's buoyant. So it can easily go up. If it wants to go down, it's gonna take out the oxygen, and that makes it to be heavy. Is understood. Now let's talk about the lobe-fin fish. The lobe-fin fish, scientists have said a lot of things about them. A lot of scientists say they are the ones which actually evolved to become the land organisms, or we call them terrestrial organisms. That is the evolution of the lobe fin that becomes the limbs which organisms use to move around today. So the fin shape of a ray fin and a lobe fin is round. The lobe fin is a round shape, not like the fan shape of the ray fin. The paired fins are arranged around a series of bone struts. The meaning is you have something like that looks like a bone like this. Is a lobe fin. You have something like a bone like this.
So it's a torpedo?
Huh?
It's a torpedo.
No, I'm not talking about torpedo here. So around this bone, then you have a fleshy fin like this. This is the way the lobe fin is. You know, unlike the ray fin, where you have the bones like this. Did you see that? But here it's only one single bone, and the fin is around it. Mohammed, are you listening to me?
Yes.
Okay. So the lobe fin is actually less maneuverable because of its weight. It doesn't move easily. And however, the lobe fin is a good support of weight. This is what you need to master. You have to support the weight properly. So which is the key to evolution of land organism. So this is what the scientists said, that it's one of the reasons why it evolved to become a land organism. Coelacanths and the lungfish, they are both lobe fin fish. Is understood. So we have some evidences from the scientists that proves that the lungfish are the closest living relatives of the land vertebrates. Is understood. That the lungfish, because the lungfish is an example of a lobe fin. So they are the closest living relatives of land vertebrates. So if someone asks you, what is the difference between the shape of a ray fin and the shape of a lobe fin? Yes. Mama, so what would you say?
The ray fish has a round.
Which one?
Has a fan shaped fin.
Which one has a
The ray fin fish.
Is that correct?
What I noticed, the ray fin fish have an array of bone and the shape is like a torpedo.
No, not torpedo.
I wrote this in the box to begin my
But don't write it if you have it now. The ray fin is just like a fan shape. A good description of a ray fin is this. A good description of a ray fin is this. From here to what here. You can write. It's not compulsory to write all of it, but write as much as you can.
What's the idea?
So the ray fin fish have fins supported by fan-shaped area of bones. Look at it. These are fan-shaped area of what? Area of bones. Did you see them? These are areas of bones.
So it has fins supported by area of bones?
It has fins supported by fan-shaped, you have to mention that name, the fan-shaped area of bones. So fan-shaped array of bones. And the fins are embedded. The fins are what? The fins are embedded in a thin layer of skin and connective tissue. They're embedded in a thin layer of skin and connective tissue. So these are the descriptions you need to give if you want to talk about the ray fin. And so if you want to write an answer, you say the ray fin is made up of array of bones in a fan shape, array of bones in fan shape, joined by what? Joined by connective tissue. Connective tissue. Why the lobe fin? Lobe fin is a round shape. The round shape. Paired of what? Paired fin. Arrange around what? Arrange around a series. Arrange around a series of bony struts. Yeah.
Is the one sheet enough for the example tomorrow?
Just read some other places too.
No, so because my classmates asked.
Read some other places. Now, what is the function of the swim bladder? Yes, what did you write?
Is to help the fish to float or sink.
It controls the height of the fish in the water. It controls, it does a simple answer, controls the what? The fish position.
Teacher, will plot this recording on the screen.
Yeah, inshallah. It controls the fish position and height in the water. In the water. That is to say, it makes them sink. It makes them sink and float in the water. So, what quality of a lobe fin help lead to the evolution of land vertebrates? Yes, Mama Child. What quality of the lobe fin help lead to evolution of?
Fish are excellent at supporting.
Yeah, they are excellent with support. They are excellent. They are excellent with support. They are excellent with support. So, what are the two types of lobe fin fish that exist today?
Fish and
Lungfish and what? Coelacanth. Lungfish and coelacanth. And coelacanth. So the next one is about amphibians. Amphibians evolved from a lobe fin fish too. This is what the scientists believe in. They believe that the lobe fin, which we have, is actually what evolved to become an amphibian. All vertebrates that live on land and their descendants that return to the water are tetrapods. What are tetrapods? Tetrapod is a vertebrate that has 4 limbs. Simple definition. If someone asks what are tetrapods, they are what? The first thing is they are vertebrates.
So are they type or it was a real animal?
Any vertebrate that has 4 limbs is called a tetrapod. Is that understood? Any vertebrate that has 4 limbs is called tetrapod. Is understood? So it might be that some of them might be tall, like the cats, they might have a tall height, and some of them might be short, they might have the legs spread out like this, like lizards.
So I catch the tetrapod?
Yeah. So some of them might have the 4 limbs like this, some of them might have it underneath them. So all of them are tetrapods. There's no difference between them. Is that understood? Either they have it under the body, either they have it spread out like this. They're all tetrapods. So animals such as snakes, which do not have 4 limbs, are still considered as tetrapods. Why? Because the scientists believe they evolved from the what? From the limbed ancestors. That they're not limbed actually, but they evolved from the what? From the limbed ancestors. Is that understood? So, amphibians. Yeah. The development of limbs and lungs led to the evolution of amphibians. So when the limbs and lungs started to develop, it led to the evolution of the amphibians. So what do they mean by this? Amphibians are animals that can combine both to live on land and also in water. So other important amphibian adaptations include the development of large shoulder, hip bones, and support more weight, mobile muscular tongue to capture food, and a middle ear. Let me quickly show you the anatomy of an amphibian to describe its qualities here. So if you take a look at this, the description which was given in the slide, and I mean the work, it says they have a middle ear, so they have a lung. This is only when they become adult. When they become adults, but when they're still in a young stage, which we call them what? What is the name called? Tadpole. So that tadpole stage, they have what? They have gills.
Only gills.
They have gills, yeah.
So they can't breathe through the skin.
No.
Okay, so now what do you mean by saying gills are reabsorbed and lungs develop?
Yeah, when you say they're reabsorbing, they're converted.
So
They change.
So the adult amphibian, it doesn't have it?
Not all amphibians have it. The amphibians, the reason why this has it is because it goes through metamorphosis. It metamorphosizes means it changes from one form to another form.
So how can it breathe in water?
Huh?
So how can the adult stork stay in the air? It also goes in the water.
What do you mean?
The adult stork also goes in the water.
Because they breathe through the skin.
So it can breathe through the skin?
Yeah. Since they have a skin which can easily allow gases to go through it, it is hard to breathe. So this is the reason. The breathing through the skin doesn't go. It's always there. The only thing that got reabsorbed is the gills, which becomes the trachea, becomes the lungs. So you need to master the qualities or the properties very well. So they have what? They have gills. They have what? They have middle ear. The heart is here. This is the lungs. They have the kidney. They have the intestine. They have the bladder. It's easy to remember. The bladder is next to the cloaca. Easy to remember. The stomach is the one which is folded is the intestine. The one which is small is the stomach. This is the pancreas, which is underneath the liver. The pancreas and the liver are always together because the liver both the liver and the pancreas produce digestive juices into the stomach. So these three organs in any animal are always together, most especially animals that are a little bit developed. So all these three organs are always together: the liver, the pancreas, and the stomach, because all the juices which they release are being transported into the stomach. Is that understood? So the heart. If you want to do, it's good. If you want to master it, it's okay. So this is all the things we need to know. So now let's go back to the worksheet. So now it says the amphibians are able to breathe outside the water, either through the skin or with the use of gills or the lungs. So the gills of the amphibians is not actually like the gills of the fish. Even with the fact that the fish cannot breathe properly in the water, they still have a way they breathe before they will die finally, using the gills. Let me zoom this thing. You know what? The skin of the amphibian is thin and wet. Huh? Are you listening, Muhammad?
Yeah.
The skin of the amphibian is thin and very wet because water is constantly evaporating from its skin. Water is what is constantly evaporating from its skin. An amphibian cannot move too far away from the water source, because if it does that, it's going to dry up. Is that understood?
Yes.
A nearby source of moisture is also important for amphibians' reproduction. This is someone asks you, why do the amphibians usually stay near to water? Two major things: for the fear of the skin drying out, and to have a place to lay the eggs for reproduction. An amphibian egg does not have a shell and without a source of moisture. So the embryo within the egg may dry out and die. So this is the reason why the eggs of the amphibians must be laid in a wet place. There's no shell for it. So the embryo inside it can easily dry out and die if there is no moisture. So this is one of the major reasons why the amphibians have to be around the water. Is that okay?
But it also does not have to be near the water because it will damage the embryo.
Well,
For instance, the amphibian can't lay its eggs in the middle of the lake.
no, they usually lay it underneath rocks, crevices, or they might lay it in leaves or at the bank of the water.
Because it will also damage the embryo.
Of course, if the wave is too much, it's going to wash it away. They usually lay it in a place they know is secure. Is that understood? Yeah. So they keep. Now, strategies that amphibians use to keep the eggs moist include laying the eggs directly in the water or on a moist ground. They lay it on a moist ground, and wrapping eggs in leaves or even brooding the eggs in pouches on amphibian back. So they usually do that too. They put the eggs on on the broods on the back. So all this quality is structure and all that. Now to develop into an adult frog, a tadpole, or we call it a tadpole, is another name for the frog bladder. You know, in metamorphosis, we have complete metamorphosis and incomplete metamorphosis. The complete metamorphosis is when the animal goes from egg to larva to pupa, and before it becomes an adult. Is understood. But some of them would jump the larva to pupa. They might be from egg to pupa, and to adult. And some of them might be from egg to larva, then to adult. So the ones that jump any of the 4 stages, we call them incomplete metamorphosis. But the ones that complete all the 4 stages, we call them what? Complete metamorphosis. Is that understood?
Okay, sir. For instance, the species that go under the 4 stages of metamorphosis, is it possible for it to go on 2 stages?
No way.
Or 3 stages?
It can either, it can go through 3 stages maximum, minimum. It cannot be from egg to, if it's from egg to adult, so it's not.
I meant egg to people.
Egg, yeah, that's, I said it, egg to people then to adults.
So it's possible for the same species.
What do you mean?
I meant, for example, same species undergo the complete metamorphosis. Is it possible for it to go incomplete?
No. If it's an organism that goes through complete, it's always complete. It cannot change to be incomplete again. Is that understood? So during metamorphosis, a number of changes occurs in tadpoles as it transforms into adult egg. Now you need to understand this concept very well. The gills are reabsorbed and lungs develop. So if someone asks you to describe what happens what changes takes place in the tadpole when it becomes an adult, the gills are reabsorbed and the lungs develop. So the gills will be taken back. They won't have the gills again. So they will have a lung instead of the gills. Internal systems are reorganized too. You know, an organism that breathes through the gills would not be the same with an organism that breathes through the lungs. There'll be some, you know, if it's with the gills, there need to be a counter flow of blood and water. Did you remember that? The counter flow of blood and water. So that's for the gills. But if it's becoming an organism that would use a lung to breathe, it needs to develop the trachea, the windpipe, the lungs, and, you know, all those things. So there need to be some changes also in the internal organs. So if you want to describe it, you say the gills are reabsorbed, the lungs develop, internal system are reorganized too. The tail is reabsorbed, and the limb develops. So all of these things need to be mentioned. The major problem is the battery. Stop it. I turned it off for me. Yeah, Bluetooth. So you know that.
Yeah.
The major problem with all these cameras is battery. They don't usually have a very strong battery.
So I think it depends on the definition. If you want to make it happen, it also consume.
Now so the gills are reabsorbed and the lungs develop. So among the modern the modern amphibians, we have divided into 3 stages. One is the salamander, the frogs, and the Sicilians. The Sicilians are actually groups that live underneath the ground. The frogs, as you know, they live in the water and on land. And the salamander, they usually look like what? No, but they have limbs.
Yeah.
But the Sicilian looks like earthworm, or they look like millipedes.
But it's the earthworm, Sicilian?
No. I'm just saying they look like it. So with its long body, 4 working limbs and tail, the salamander looks like an ancestral tetrapod. Frogs are the largest group of amphibians. Frogs are they are the largest group of amphibians. So a frog familiar body form include the tailor's body, a long muscular hind limb, webbed feet, exposed eardrums, bulging eye. So all of these things are examples of the way to describe the word frog. They don't have a tail. They have a long muscular hind limb. Like I showed you, the limb is so long. You can see how long the bones are. The bones are folded 1, 2, 3, very, very strong. And that's why they can leap so high. Is understood? They can leap so high because they have a strong limb. Is that okay? Type. Now the Sicilians are most distinctive group of amphibians with their legless, earthworm-like appearance. So what are tetrapods? Yes.
It's a vertebrate that has 4 limbs.
Vertebrate with 4 limbs. Vertebrate with 4 limbs. Why must amphibians remain near the source of water? Yes, Mama Child. Mama Tabri.
Because we're not
So as
we're not drying out the embryo.
so as not to dry out. So as not to dry out.
Avoid the risk of drying out
And to prevent the eggs. Prevent eggs from damage from excess dryness. Is that what you remember, Sabri?
Yeah.
What are the 3 groups of modern amphibians? Salamander, frogs, and what? Sicilians. So, okay, now the next one, the amniotes. Reptiles, birds, and mammals are adapted for life on land. An amniote is a vertebrate that has a thin, tough, membranous sac that encloses the embryo or fetus during development. You get what I'm saying? An amniote is a what? It's a vertebrate that has a thin, tough, membranous sac that encloses the embryo or fetus during development. It's a very easy way to remember. An amniote is a vertebrate that has a thin, tough, membranous sac. Thin, tough, membranous sac that encloses the embryo or fetus during development. Is that understood?
Yeah.
Okay. All amniotes share a set of characteristics that help to prevent water loss. I mean, they have they devise ways of preventing themselves from losing water. Skin cells are waterproof. This is one of the quality. The skin cells of all amniotes is waterproof. Why is it waterproof? Because it's made up of keratin. Keratin is a protein that binds with lipids inside the skin cell. What?
When it says skin cells are waterproof, it doesn't talk about the embryo, it talks about the adult stage, yeah?
Yeah, it's talking about when you describe an embryo of amniotes. Amniotes is a name given to organisms because they have the same way of giving birth.
This is not an amniote, this is just a name given that they have this.
The keratin, it's a protein combined with the lipid, which is found underneath the skin of every amniote.
So I have it.
You have it. It doesn't allow water to escape from your body easily, except from a particular position, which is the sweat pores. The sweat pores must open before water comes out. Let's say, for example, your skin is not waterproof. If you're drinking, it's coming out from your body. That's a big disease. If you find that, someone said it that there was a good person who was actually so big, and I think he was sick, so he gave him said he did some cure for him, and the water was flushing out from the room. So maybe that's a specific disease. I didn't confirm it actually, but the point I'm actually making is, if there is no specific thing that protects the skin from water loss, all the water from your body will get out from you. Is that understood? So keratin is a protein that binds to the lipid inside the skin cells, forming a repellent layer. Repellent layer means it repels water, which is called hydrophobic. Another name for repellent is hydrophobic. The meaning it doesn't allow the water, it doesn't have any good relationship with water. That keeps the water inside the animal from evaporating through the skin. Is that understood? It makes it it doesn't make it go out through the skin. So the waterproof means that amniotes lose less water to evaporation. The meaning is they don't usually lose a lot of water to evaporation. So they only lose the ones which the body easily releases during exercises when you're sweating. Is that understood? So it also means that amniotes cannot exchange gases across the skin. Amniotes instead rely on lungs for respiration. In addition, kidneys and large intestines are bigger in amniotes than amphibians. You can remember when we dissected the rabbit. Did you see how big the intestines were? You saw the kidney, right? The kidney that was eating underneath the intestine. You know, the kidney is right next to the spinal cord. Yeah, the kidney is here, not here.
But you feel the pain here.
The pain is actually from here, back, not from the front. If you complain to the doctor that you have a back pain, he's gonna think maybe it's a kidney. If you tell him you have a stomach pain, he's gonna think it's appendix. Yeah.
It was in the center.
Appendix is not in the center.
No, it's in the
It's in the side. So if you feel the pain in the sides, it might be like you have stool, or you have a running stomach, you have flu. You have a diarrhea. But if you tell the doctor, I've got pain in the stomach, and he's saying maybe kidney, no, it's not a good doctor. So the kidney pain usually be in the back because it's very close to the spinal cord. So when the doctors cut from here, they go down to take it. So there was a guy who said he was sick. He went in the hospital, and could you believe that when he woke up from coma, he noticed his kidneys were removed. One of the guys removed his kidney.
The people in the coma, they know what's happening in the surrounding.
They won't know. They're not aware.
One voice teacher said that.
They're unconscious. That's coma. Coma means you're unconscious.
You're conscious?
You're unconscious. You're not aware. So you're not aware of what's happened. You're not dead, but you're not aware. You might just feel like you're hallucinating. You can feel like things are breaking. Think it's not solving. So you just feel like things are taking place, but you're not very sure of it. You understand? So there's waterproofing means amniotes lose less water. So amniotes, instead of relying on the lungs for respiration. In addition, the kidney and large intestine is bigger in amniotes than amphibians. I mentioned that to you. So unlike amphibians, amniotes do not need to return to water for reproduction. Why? Because the amniote egg is almost completely waterproof. If you've ever seen the egg before, there's a layer that covers it that will never allow water to go inside it. The whitish thin layer is waterproof. So if you try to tear it, you see water will not go through it, never.
So this talks about the egg, the round egg, yeah? The oval shape.
Either the egg of the chicken, the egg of an embryo, the egg of a snake, all of them are amniote eggs.
So what's the meaning of egg?
Egg?
Yeah.
You don't know what egg is?
No, we know what is egg, but what does it mean?
Yeah.
When you say egg, you mean a female sex cell. Female sex cell. That's what the egg means, actually. Over. So when the sperm hits the egg, the sperm will go to the nucleus of the egg, and it's going to start the cell division in it. So if you've seen the chicken's egg before the shell, you will see it looks almost the same as the egg of other animals. It's once it's about to lay the egg, then the shell forms around it. There was a guy, he killed the fowl, he killed the hen when the hen is still having a lot of, the eggs are in layers. The eggs will be like this. You have small, then you have bigger one, then you have bigger one, you have bigger one. This is the way the eggs are in the end. Then when it's of this size, then you're gonna have a shell and come out. So the guy removed the fallopian tube, removed all the sections, the cloaca of the end. He removed it till they get to the fallopian tube that carries all the egg. And he showed all the eggs which are in the hen. He killed the hen, he cut it into two. He removed it, a big one, and he made a video about it. It's actually disgusting, but it's very, very informative. It's very, very educational. So that was the first time I saw how the eggs were before they have a shell around them. Is that understood? So this is the way they are. So sometimes if you have a hen, you kill a hen, and it's about to lay eggs, you're gonna see the small eggs in it. You see the eggs, you're gonna see all the blood vessels and everything. So don't let's waste time much on this. So the amniotic egg is almost completely waterproof.
What's the amniotic sac?
Amniotic sac. Yeah, the sac that covers the egg.
That covers the egg.
Yeah, that covers the amniotic fluid. So the amniotic egg is almost completely waterproof. So it keeps the embryo from drying out as it develops. Some amniotes, such as snakes, make the eggs but do not lay them. Some amniotes have the eggs in them, but they will not lay them like humans. Instead, the female keeps the egg in an oviduct until it hatches. This means it protects the egg from predation. You know what predation is? If some organisms lay the eggs are easily consumed by some stupid animals. These animals will come around and they will eat the egg. Is that understood?
Yeah.
So that's called predation. So the method, most animals' embryo develop inside the mother's reproductive tract. Although the eggs lack shells, the embryo have the same series of membranes. They are found in a typical amniotic egg. The placenta is a membranous organ that develops in a female mammal during pregnancy, and it's used to carry nutrients from the mother to the embryo and also remove metabolic waste from the embryo. The placenta, no, it's not used to protect the egg. Placenta is used to transport things from the mother to the offspring. So that's why it says it's a membranous organ that develops in the female mammals during pregnancy. It's not inside the body. It only develops when there's pregnancy. So, and after pregnancy, it goes out with the pregnancy. It's not that it's an organ there. It's not a specific organ. It's an organ that has been made for a purpose. Is that understood? So and it's used both to carry nutrient, it transport nutrient from the mother to the embryo, and also removes waste. When the embryo releases waste, urinate or make some poo, then it goes to what? It goes to the mother, and the mother would. That's why you see a pregnant person would urinate a lot. The person will eat a lot, use the washroom a lot, and because of what? Because the person is combining two things. Is like functioning for two organisms, not only one.
So is the person will be getting some foreign waste and later the food comes in? So food will be dirty.
The food? Yeah. No, it's not dirty. It's sieved. There's different pipes. It's not the same pipe. Yeah, but it's not. The placenta has some pipe in it. Like placenta is like this. Then inside you have one carrying the blood, one carrying the food, and one carrying some other things inside it. What is an amniote?
It's the vertebrate that has a thin, tough.
Vertebrate with a thin, tough.
Membranous sac.
with a thin, tough membranous sac. Remember this word, thin, tough. Thin, tough membranous sac. Thin, tough, membranous sac. What is the function of keratin? Yes.
Waterproof skin.
Provide waterproof layer.
Waterproof.
Provide what? Waterproof layer. For what? For amniotes. What adaptations allow amniotes? What adaptations allow amniotes to reproduce on land?
The amniotic egg and the placenta. The amniotic egg and the placenta.
No.
They have what I noticed. They have an amniotic egg, which is an almost waterproof container that keeps the egg.
Yeah, they have amniotic, right, and they have amniotic egg. They have amniotic egg, which is waterproof, doesn't allow the egg to lose water. No, it's not the same with placenta. Correct it, please. Which is waterproof.
But not all amniotes have placenta.
What do you
So
mean?
there's certain types of amniotes that have placenta.
Female mammal. He didn't say amniotes. Mammal.
All female mammals have.
Mammals. No amniotes.
Okay.
So amniotic egg, which is waterproof. Amniotic egg, which is waterproof, prevents water loss. Prevent water loss through the water loss through the egg. So they don't need to return back to water. So they don't need water for reproduction. They don't need water for reproduction. Now, what is the function of placenta?
Is carrying nutrients from the female from the mother to the offspring.
It carries nutrient or transport nutrient from mother to the embryo to fetus, and removes waste. From fetus to embryo. From embryo to the mother. Are you there? Okay, now let's proceed. Reptiles, birds, and mammals are also amniotes.
So what's the system?
I don't know.
Vertebrates or not?
I think it's 26.4.
It is, yes, no.
26.4, right?
No, mammals.
This is not.
This is not mammals.
Next.
Do we have mammals separately? No.
Sorry, no.
We just have amniotes.
Next.
I made your solid guide very easy.
So this was
Reptiles and birds, mammals are amniotes. Amniotes are vertebrates that develop inside a thin, tough membranous sac as fetus or embryo. We call them either fetus or embryo. The amniotic sac contains everything, virtually everything, that a vertebrate embryo needs to grow and prepare for the world for the life outside. Is that understood? So all the things which they need to grow or which they need to they feed on to increase in size to make them prepare for the life outside is in the egg. That's why sometimes when the birds, when they hatch, they still eat from the shell. Did you notice that? Yeah, there's a put from the shell and eat. They can eat on the shell for 1 day or 2 days. Then before the mother brings them out. The meaning is the egg itself is a source of food for the amniotes. So the amniotic sac contain, in some amniotes, the amniotic sac is contained inside the mother's body, like mammals. So the amniotic egg is inside the mother's body. But in other amniotes, the tough outer shell protects the embryo as it develops outside the mother's body. An egg is a completely self-sustained container, self-contained. You know what self-contained is? Where you have everything within your premises. So you have a self-contained apartment. It's independent. All the things which has been needed can be got from the what? Can be got from the shell. Yeah, referring to the normal egg that has shell. Is that understood? I'm trying to find some examples of these mammals for you. So, okay, are we there? So the self-sustained egg is an important adaptation that allows the vertebrate to reproduce exclusively on land and prevents the egg from drying out. Amniotes have a unique way of circulating blood through the bodies. All amniotes have a pump called the heart that moves the blood through the body. A system of blood vessels moves oxygenated blood to the tissues that need it and takes the oxygenated blood away to dispose of carbon dioxide. In this way, blood travels through 2 circuits. So we have 2 circuits in every amniote. Pulmonary circuit. Pulmonary circuit has to do with what? Has to do with the lungs. They take the oxygenated blood. Mama, sorry, you have a question?
No.
They take the oxygenated blood from the body to the lungs to pick oxygen and back to the heart. And the systemic, they take the oxygenated blood from the heart to the body. There's something you need to notice here. The mammals have what? Normally the heart is, we have, yes?
The mammals has 3 chambers.
Yeah, which mammals have 3 chambers?
No, 4.
Mammals have 4 chambers. So the reptiles have 3 and amphibians. So we have the right atrium and the left atrium. We have the right ventricle and the left ventricle. So this is the reason why the mammals have a more specialized way of exchanging gases to get. No, the fish, no. They have hearts, but the heart is less complex than that of the reptiles and that of the amphibians too. Amniotes must stay warm. Amniotes must stay warm to assist in chemical reactions that makes life possible. Now we have a way. The way to stay warm is we have ectotherms. Ectotherms are organisms in which the body temperature is determined by the surrounding environment. Is that understood? The surrounding environment controls the temperature. Examples are lizards, snakes, and all the reptiles are ectotherms. So this is something you should know. Ectotherms, they usually have body temperature which has been controlled by the environment they are in. The meaning is if they are in an environment with a degree of 0 degrees Celsius, they would freeze. If they are in an environment with around 90 degrees Celsius, they would die of what? Of suffocation, overeating. So they can't control it. But we can live in an environment of minus 50. Yeah, people live in minus 50 degrees Celsius. In Canada, in Russia, and they survive it. Your bodies would generate heat, and that makes you survive it. Or you find a way of generating heat inside the house. But endotherms, the organisms that use their own metabolic heat to keep tissues warm. Mammals, birds are endotherms. But the only problem which the endotherms will have is they consume more food because they're going to use more energy to generate the heat. But the ectotherm, they can survive with a little amount of food because they don't need they don't need much. They don't need to generate much energy. Is that understood? Describe an amniotic sac.
It covers the egg.
Mohammed Sabri, Mohammed Shahid, what's an amniotic sac?
An amniotic sac contains everything that everybody needs to know.
Where did you get that from? That's very good. This is it, yeah, Basha.
Oh, yeah,
It contains inside the mother's body, but other amniotic sac is contained inside the mother's body.
So what's the difference between amniotic egg and amniotic sac? Amniotic sac is a
amniotic egg is a general name, but a sac is a sac where the embryo is found inside.
So it's a cover.
It's a cover, yeah, cover inside the amniotic egg. So amniotic sac contains everything the vertebrate embryo needs to grow and prepare for life outside. Is that understood? Amniotic sac contains what? Everything an embryo needs to survive and prepare for life outside.
An amniotic sac contains everything that an embryo needs to grow.
Yeah, to grow and prepare for life, and to grow, survive, and prepare for life. It's okay, but just add and prepare for life outside.
So I wrote it needs to grow, survive,
and prepare for life outside.
And
yeah. Are we there?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what are the two circuits the blood travels through to the body? We have pulmonary
and systemic.
And systemic. Okay. What is the difference between ectotherm and endotherm?
I wrote ectotherms are organisms whose body temperature is determined by the surroundings.
Ectotherm or organism, they are organisms whose body temperature is controlled by the surrounding. Organisms whose body temperature is controlled by the environment, by the surrounding temperature. While endotherm can control their body temperature using the body metabolic activities, using body metabolism. It's not compulsory you write exactly my answer, but let the information be the same. Now we have mammals here. Now evolutionary adaptation allowed mammals to succeed the dinosaurs. Before, the dinosaurs were the most successful organisms on the land, which are terrestrial.
So the mammals are the most successful testers.
The dinosaurs were the most successful before. So after that, the mammals succeeded them.
But dinosaurs are reptiles,
yeah? But when the dinosaurs were living, they claimed there was no mammal living there. So you are a mammal. You are a mammal. You are an animal. there was a boy and a sister. The sister was saying, "You're an animal." "I'm not an animal." "You are an animal." "I'm not." Then I just broke in. I said, "What do you mean calling your brother an animal?" He said, "No." So I said, "He's an animal because he's a mammal." I said, "Oh, yes, he's an animal." So you are a mammal. All mammals are active, large-brain, endothermic animals with complex social feeding and reproductive behaviors. They have complex things. They have a lot of complexity because they have what? They have large brains. Okay.
I need to call my mother.
For what? Okay, as I was saying, so Mammals are they're active. They have a large brain. They're also endothermic animals with a complex social feeding and reproductive behaviors. All modern mammals have four unique characteristics. Is that understood? They have four unique characteristics. Hair help a mammal keep warm. They have hair on the body that help to keep them warm. In addition to the primary function, hair can also provide camouflage. It makes some animals camouflage. You know what camouflage is? It helps to protect them. It helps to sense the surrounding environment too. Like some cats, they have this whiskey. So you can easily know something is wrong when you see the way it stands. Or they can easily use that to sense things too. And some of them have some other way to sniff sniff something, something is happening. So all of these things are yesterday I saw there was a guy, he made a post. He said people with beard, they keep more germs in the body than the dog. Said this is a lie. When you clear your mustache, you have a lot of time you sneeze the more because you have a lot of exposure of your nasal cavity to air. And when you shave your eyelash, you're exposed to a lot of diseases. So the hair, so the hair itself has its own function. It helps to keep you warm and make things around you make it okay. But it was just trying to seal those things. I think it was trying to say those things just to pull people back. Because now everyone, even the Christians and everyone is living the bed. So I think he's trying to just do something, to say something to make people think it's not good. So hair is actually a very good thing for the mammals. Mammary gland. Mammary gland are specialized gland to produce what? To produce milk containing water.
Only the female mammals.
Yeah, only female mammals. Sugar, protein, fat, minerals, and antibodies. So what the milk contains is much that help young mammals to grow and also to develop. Is that understood? A middle ear with 3 bones allow mammals to detect minute vibration, no matter how small the vibration is. Because they have a what? Because they have...
So it's minute, not minute?
No, minute. You think it's minutes?
But sir, may I read it just again? I thought that minute here means like single set of keys. So sensitive.
Minute means very small. When I say something is minute, you've not heard it before.
Small.
Yeah, very, very small. Very tiny.
So it's specific.
Yeah, very small. Minute. Vibrations in the air, and interpret these vibrations as sounds. A jaw lets mammals chew the food, unlike reptiles and amphibians that can only bite off large chunk of food and swallow them whole. Is that understood? So the reptiles and the amphibians can swallow a large amount of food. They can swallow a whole cat. There's an amphibian.
Snakes.
Yeah, amphibians swallow a whole snake because they can bite and chew like you. It's not going to die. They have complex acid in their own stomach that breaks those things down very easily. Like unlike you, if you swallow that kind of food, you might have problems because you're not designed for it. But they are designed to want to do those things.
But they have teeth and they have everything.
The teeth is not sufficient to chew. It's just all used to grip things. They can only use it to grip things and put them into the mouth. So they don't usually have very devised ways like me and you. So modern mammals come in many shapes, sizes, but there are only 3 major groups of mammals we have, the monotremes. Monotremes are mammals that lay eggs. They are unique in that they retain some of the characteristics of ancient reptiles. So the monotremes combine the qualities of reptiles and the mammals. So examples of the monotremes are Egna, Platypus. Yeah, Platypus. We also have another one called Steropodon. Master these examples, please. It's so weird, I know.
Just one bird that has so much hair. It's like bear that has so much hair. But sir, do the monotermes, do they have mammary glands since they?
All of them are mammals. They're gonna have mammary gland.
Of course. Contains everything that...
No, that's before they hatch. Once the egg hatches, then they suckle the young ones. So try to. So all of them are found only in New Guinea and Australia. The only place you find these organisms, these mammals, is Australia or New Guinea. New Zealand, New Guinea. Yeah, that's why it says Australia, New Zealand. You can also find Echidna in Tasmania. Is in Australia, yeah, it's an island. Marsupials. Marsupials are mammals that give birth to immature. The marsupials are not the same. They give birth to immature babies. The babies are not matured enough.
Yeah, one time you showed us the video.
Yeah, actually the video.
Yeah.
Example of the marsupials are what? They are opossum. Yeah, opossum. Example, wombat, kangaroo. Okay, just find more examples. That's what I'm saying to you. Yeah, all of these are good examples of. We have billies. Billies, yeah. Write it down.
I have it, sir.
You didn't have these examples.
I have kangaroo here.
I'm not going to mention anything again. Now, Etherean mammals give birth to live young. They have completed fetal development in the womb. So Etherean mammals include tiger, elephant, mice, horses, and whales. Many people don't know these examples, and that's why you see they didn't give you much examples of them. Did you see now? You're giving examples of Etherean, yes? You're giving more examples, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many examples of marsupials are you giving? Only one. How many examples of monotremes? You're given only one, only 2, platypus and echidna. So if I'm giving you more examples, it's because you should improve your understanding of it. You can go back home and check opossum, wombat, and all the likes too.
Wait, it says it about Reptiles and found out in Australia. And 2 types of echidna. So here, echidna is not a species, it's a group.
No, it's an example, echidna. Echidna is an example of monotremes. Platypus is an example. Tetrapod is an example. Kangaroo, bilbies, all of them are examples of the marsupials. Now, no, shaitan.
No, sir, what is it?
Bilbies.
Bilbies. Same thing.
I have some examples here. Okay, now what is a mammal?
Okay, so this is the mammal.
Yes.
Mammal is they are active, large brain, endothermic mammals, which contains.
What are mammals? Just give me a definite yes.
I know the mammals are endothermic organisms that are active, large brain.
Mammals are endotherms. Mammals are endotherms with a large active brain.
That's it.
Active brain that give birth, that suckle the young ones. Suckle the young ones.
So can I picture
If you want to describe it,
Can I picture that?
Picture what?
The answer.
No, just write it down. If you want to describe them more, you can say they have fur in the body, they have this. Now, what are the 4 characteristics unique to mammals? Yes.
Hair, middle ear, jaws, and memory.
Hair and body, these are the description. They have a middle here.
Jaws.
They have jaw for chewing food. Mammary gland. Mammary gland. Name and describe the 3 main groups of mammals. Yes. Sabri.
Monotremes.
Monotremes.
Are mammals that lay eggs.
Mammals that lay egg. Give me examples. Give me another. What's the second one?
Just will be marsupials.
Marsupials.
Our mammals give birth to immature living.
They give birth to immature what?
Larvae.
Huh?
Immature larvae.
Immature. Give birth to immature larvae. Immature larvae.
So you said that sucking the young ones?
Yeah.
Eutherian are mammals that give birth to larvae that are completed and
Mammals that give birth to what?
completed and developed.
To young ones that are what?
Completed and developed.
Completed.
Yeah.
Completely.
Completed.
That give birth to young ones that are completely what?
Completely developed.
Yeah, completely developed. Okay, well, examples, tiger and the likes. Okay. Now we have some words here. Okay. Okay, go on it. You have to use it. When you talk about an organ system, are you talking about different organs working together or different functions within an organ working together?
Yeah.
Talking about different organs working together. Yeah, that's correct. Would positive feedback or negative feedback increase changes away from said values, Mama Shahid?
Positive feedback. No, positive feedback.
What did you choose?
Positive feedback.
Okay. Which is more like homeostasis? An oven maintaining a set temperature or a pot of water starting to boil? Yes.
An oven maintaining.
An oven maintaining temperature. When a lung cell has acquired hair-like cilia, has it gone through differentiation or determination?
How do we know this?
Differentiation.
How would you know it?
How do we know this?
I explained to you what differentiation.
Like
When it's already developed the qualities it needs to become a hair cell, which is having cilia. Don't you know it's differentiation? Determination is having determined to be something. It doesn't develop the structures yet. The structures become to develop during differentiation. Moment suffering.
So it's differentiation.
Yeah.
Nobody knows, sir, at home.
In the group?
No, at home, sir. Ask my parents.
You know, this topic is one of the most sensitive topics.
Most sensitive?
Most sensitive, even in medical schools.
But it's easy.
It's easy because you know, there's something about me, Ikhwan. I'm not a kind of teacher that will just teach anyhow and expect people to bother themselves. You know, we have that. Now, is a muscle fiber an example of tissue and organ? Tissue. In thermoregulation, the process of maintaining a stable body condition temperature or producing heat so cell can function. Is thermoregulation a process of maintaining a stable body temperature or producing body heat so that cell can function? Yes. Maintaining body temperature. Now, vector vocabulary. Define the words in the boxes on issue or write a phrase that describes how the words in the boxes are related. Now, determination.
Commit.
Because of course when
So committed. Committed to become a specific cell.
So I have a question. In the previous midterm exam, is that what we took 25? In the previous midterm exam, is there about what we took for marks?
You?
No, I'm asking.
Yeah, there is.
I don't know. I can't remember. Develop structures to become specialized. This is differentiation. So this is similar cells work together to perform a specific function as well. tissue. What is 6?
More complex tissues.
Organs?
No.
More
7 is.
complex tissues form.
Yeah, that's very good of him. I'm sorry. More complex tissues form. More complex tissues form. And number 7 is going to be what?
Organ system.
You can say more complex tissues form, or you put it organ, because if you have more complex tissue forming, it's called organ too. This will be what? Organ system. What is 8?
Is maintaining the internal temperature.
Maintaining internal condition, not temperature. You're making this mistake. Maintaining internal temperature is thermoregulation. Maintaining internal condition. Maintaining internal body condition. Condition maintained despite change. What is 10? Condition require change. Condition maintained despite change.
This is negative feedback.
So conditions maintain. Conditions are maintained despite the change.
The negative feedback. This is maintaining. So positive feedback is.
Conditions require change.
This is negative feedback.
No, when a condition requires change, it's positive.
Sir, I said number 10.
But condition maintain the change, maintain the conditions is maintained is negative.
Sir, I said negative.
Define each word. Feedback, information used to compare current conditions to set value. Negative and positive feedback loop. Most functions are regulated by negative feedback. What about differentiation?
Is the process by which committed cells occur the structure.
Process by which?
By which committed cells occur the structure.
Occur. What do you mean occur?
Acquire, sir.
Acquire, yeah. Acquire what? Specific structures. Specific structures. Give more information about it.
I said a skeletal muscle cell acquires and function of highly specialized cell.
Red blood cell become biconcave. Become what? Biconcave.
So can I say?
Nerve cell, just listen, nerve cell gets longer. Nerve cell gets thin and longer. Organ.
Is a structure composed of different
group of tissues working together. Group of similar tissues working together. Example, heart pumps blood.
So I said lung and
lungs exchange gases. Liver, what does it do? And what does liver do? It's an organ. What does it do? You have to tell me the part. Yeah.
It gives out juice.
Yeah. It produces the organ. It produces what I call it. Yeah, bile is the name. Enzymes or juices for breaking down food, breaking down proteins.
What is that, biconcave?
Yeah, become biconcave in shape. So this is differentiation. When all the things you do, that makes sense. No, I didn't know you printed. I wasted my printer. Okay.
Should
I thought you would print it. This work is not easy. It's not easy.
What is that on?
Skin.
Organ.
Stomach lining. Huh?
Sometimes tissue.
Tissue here. Liver,
Organ.
heart,
Organ.
brain, spinal cord, nerve cells,
Organ system.
blood,
Organ.
tissue.
How is it tissue?
It's tissue. It has a lot of cells in it. Tendon,
Tissue.
thymus, spleen, white blood cells,
Organ system.
organ system.
Not tissue.
Yeah, they're protective organ system. Oh, so another one.
Oh, sorry, this is at home.
Did you print this?
No.
Choose among these terms to answer the riddles.
People are into soft.
I'm like a team. The players have different roles, but we are all part of the same group. What is that?
I think these homocysts.
Huh?
No.
I'm like a team. The players have different roles.
Organ system.
I'm like a team, right? The players have different roles they do.
Organ system.
But we are all part of the same group.
Organ
Is that an organism?
So we are a team.
There is no organism anyway.
Yeah.
It's either organ or organ system.
So there's no organism. That means it's organ system. When you ask someone to review your speech, you ask for me. Who are you?
There's no weird question.
When you ask weird, huh? When you ask someone to review your speech, you ask for
Stasis.
feedback. Give me feedback about myself.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
I said, give me feedback about somebody. That's what feedback is. Tell me about myself. Am I doing good? If not, let me know. Let me fix myself. Good. I know you told me. I prevent your body from changing too much, like a guardian system that keeps a ship on course. I prevent your body from changing too much, like a guardian system that keeps a ship on course. Homeostasis. Don't be surprised if you see weird questions tomorrow.
So this is coming.
I'm not saying this, but my 4 different types make up every organ in the body. My 4 different types make every organ in the body.
Tissue. It's tissue. 100% tissue.
My 4 different types. If I'm not maintained, then critical processes in the body start breaking down.
Negative feedback.
I think it's not. I prevent your body from changing too much, like a guardian system. This is a negative feedback. Yeah. I prevent the body from changing too much, like a guardian. That's a negative feedback.
So negative feedback and homeostasis are almost the same.
They're not the same.
But they're almost.
They're not almost. I'm not maintaining the critical processes. That's homeostasis. I'm like a manager of a team, giving each person special equipment to use. I'm like a manager of a team. Huh? The manager of a team, giving each person special equipment to use.
Differentiation. It's either organ or differentiation.
I'm like a manager of a team, giving each person special equipment to use. I think that should be differentiation.
Yes.
Because you're making them to have what they need to do the job. Huh?
Yeah.
When you get caught, you definitely want me. They're changing things quickly to stop bleeding. Yes. Just calling it. So, very hard task. When you cut your body, you definitely want me there, changing things quickly to stop bleeding. What is it?
Positive feedback.
Positive feedback.
It is possible, but I don't know why it's possible.
Draw a cartoon or diagram that illustrates 3 of the vocabulary word: determination, differentiation, tissues. Don't worry, it's baby's break.
No, sir, almost.